The safe lane, it's very tempo-oriented lineup, also having Nature's Prophet, so 3 good scaling cores on their side. Even though GH is playing CM, I still think they're going to be laning CM plus the Bristleback, and then have Nature's Prophet laning with Dawnbreaker to be able to have some kind of a stun in that lane, to be able to stop them from TPing, and it's super strong lane from Team NIGMA. I'm not a little worried for PSG LGD, like they need to stabilize their game and play for the mid game, because their early game is not that strong. Enchantress, sure, strong laner. Faceless Void doesn't provide you with much. He doesn't deal well with the Nature's Prophet in the lane. I'm mostly looking at the Nothing to Say Spango, how he's going to be able to perform. He has relatively easy game. There's not many silences, stuns. There is root mechanic from Crystal Maiden. Other than that, he should feel pretty comfortable coming into the fight with the Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, it's only taken a couple of years, but after Mind Control's asked for Kuro to pick me profit, he's finally got it. Beautiful little tomato skin as well. We'll see the trains come out a little later on. As they did smoke across to this Radiant Triangle, get an early high ground ward around that top spire, the high ground there. What's their primary idea behind this Observer ward? Is that just to try and spot out people to get First Blood? It's like a First Blood ward?
Yeah, and I also want to see what's happening in there, if there are any stacks, because they do have Bristleback, and Bristleback one of the better heroes early on to go in and potentially take the stack. So you don't necessarily need the stack for yourself, because imagine them coming in with Nature's Prophet, Bristleback, Dawnbreaker, CM as your course. Like super difficult to deal with, especially because like Marcy's damage output early on is really not that big. Nedra's Enchantress, Faceless Void, like he needs Chronosphere. That Prophet needs that Exorcism to be able to get the damage done. And we're gonna see the lane setup from PSG LGD. That Prophet plus Marcy, you need to have, like, once again, something with a stun, and the lanes are going to be as we expected. Bristleback plus Crystal Maiden, even though Jay's going to be playing that CM on the bottom, Mind Control on Nature's Prophet, his classic with the Dawnbreaker, Orb of Venom, a lot of slow. Want to see how this lane goes, because NIGMA, they will be putting a lot of pressure on Ame, and we can already see, like, forcing him to use a tango. There is a hammer, Ame trying to dodge. Will dodge it, but the slow is still doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, he's going to take all that chip damage. Not comfortable for him whatsoever. And they've already blocked up one of the camps as well to try and limit the pulls and the creeps being stolen away by Y. As Enchantress did go for enchant level 1. Of course, can be grabbing those treants from time to time. As top lane, GH playing aggressively with Miracle, getting a snipe on the Jinky Courier. Chasing Faithion back on the tower, and now facing against the Marcy with a Frostbite there. They've got some good damage into him, and that's the level 2 hit that we were looking for.
Yeah, they got that level 2 much faster than PSG because they're still on lane playing aggressive with the Bristleback, coming in with a couple of mangoes on Crystal Maiden, and GH is the one who got the first blood. Also, you want to have as many possible mangoes in this lane because you're playing with the It's not about using the healing sound on your trade, because it's not a thing anymore. So having extra mangoes, you're going to win the trade more against that Prophet and Marcy. Also,
it's one of those cliches, right? Like offense is the best defense.
Absolutely. And in this matchup, like, Prophet's not going to be getting too much value from sidekick. This is not the lane. Because usually I think Jinky, he knows he's the best player. Support the Etherlands type of build. He does go one.
And things along those lines. As we all get back underway, so we've seen tips fly around. Kurogi getting a lot of love from his own team as they've set themselves up for a good victory in this early lane stage. Top lane already with that first kill, and looking in towards mid, Nothing to Say is taking a lot of harassment from Sumail. 10 and 2 on the Razor. Pango only picking up 6 CS, but he does have a wave arriving at his tower now.
even though you don't have the long lane to play with, Razor usually he wants to be able to connect with the static link. Someone uses a slow or a stun, and then you win this trade war in terms of region. Still playing against Pango, forcing him to get the swashbuckle defensively to be able to break the link and stealing some of his damage. Kind of expected against the Pango, as we see. He still dealt damage, but not in a way that he wants to.
Yeah, level 1 static link going for the 2 points in plasma field, knowing that you're kind of just forcing out the swash with it. As another courier snipe comes through, Kuroki, right place, right time. Stealing one of those triumphs, just sending it towards mind control, zoning him a little bit with his own tomato.
Hame on top of CS. So Wine doing a very good job soaking up some of the damage on this bottom lane. Looking at the build on mind control going
forward. Again. Ooh. Look at that damage. So quickly it comes from GH and Miracle, and they'll absolutely go in towards that tier 1 to take down Jinkyu again.
Miracle ready to buy Ring of Health, has 8 magic stick charges. Was thinking about for a second to go behind the tier 1 tower, potentially dive, but it was too risky. Kuro on a mid lane.
Yeah, coming in hot, nothing to say. Jumped in, the Celestial Hammer's there, burning through him, but Jinkyu will be able to come in, refill the bottle, transfer it back to nothing to say, just to try and alleviate some of the pain he's been feeling in that mid lane.
It was a good move from Kuro, because he understands that on bottom, mind control, he feels pretty safe, and also forcing a TP rotation, which means that on top lane, Bristleback will get some pressure off on him, because he has Ring of Health. He wants to be able to Jinkyu with the jump.
Yeah, straight onto GH. Reasonably squishy Crystal Maiden, but she's able to reset, get away from the Spirit Side, but then they turn it back so quickly. GH trying to kill his spree, Miracle's diving tower. He wants this Marcy real bad, trying to get the Bristleback cool sprays now. But not close enough. Good little step back there from Jinkyu's Marcy.
Do you know, Gary, that I read a comment about the Bristleback? It was I don't know, a year or 2 ago, where people, like someone realized that he pulled Bristleback because of his back. It's just like oh, now it all makes sense.
It's like, oh, Doom is called because of his head.
Exactly. Nothing to say, did invade enemy jungle and got that bounty rune. Razor 24 CS 17 on pain earlier.
Yeah, Sumail doing very well in that lane, but again, they move aggressively towards the DP, completely zoning her out of the lane and away from the CS as she's currently snapped at 13 last hits. Such a great solid lane from Team NIGMA up top.
And as we expected, Marcy going for more points and rebound, because you don't benefit from the psychic in this lane. GH level 4, they're going to try to go for him.
Out of position, dragged back in towards the DP. Does get a couple of spells off, but GH about to die. Yeah, he does put the stick, but that's not going to be enough to allow him to survive. Surely not. Jinkyu will dive under the tier 1 and finish her off. Puts himself in danger though, as Miracle with these cool sprays will get the trade back.
It was so close. It was like half a second for him to use the frostbite, and this still benefits NIGMA quite a lot because they are getting solo levels on Bristleback. Why? Trying to make a rotation. Let's see the Hurricane. Can he pull him back?
Yeah, looks like they should be able to. Sumail gets out of the field and they don't Hurricane him around. Why can get frostbitten? Came in aggressively to play this mid lane. Sumail dies. There's nothing to say. Gets the swashbuckle in towards it. It looked like NIGMA might have been able to withhold that and get just the Enchanter skill, but don't underestimate this Blackstone swashbuckle.
Hurricane there on Pango instead of connecting on the Razor, but still a good trade, I would say, not to say getting the levels, and they got the kill before he used Rolling Thunder, and also this mid lane GH.
Yeah, he's being dived again. Jinkyu, with the help of this Wild Wing, slams down the Maiden. Sumail with the Plasma Field will be able to clear through Marcy though.
A lot of trade kills. Sumail coming in, cleaning things up. There is still room, so that's going to be for nothing to see. Being able to get read on bottom, however.
The pressure
control, yeah, a ton of pressure. I love the build that he was going for on Nature Prophet lately. Maelstrom.
Oh. So not the Orchid.
Yeah, no, not this time around. Just straight up Lightning.
Get that scaling potential as well. So much damage onto this tower with a catapult wave arriving. GQ is sitting in the trees waiting for his moment to strike. I just don't know if they can do this. Arme nowhere near level 6. Yeah.
They might need another one to down here bottom.
There's the exposed. Nice Starbreaker though. Nothing to say he will be able to take down Kuroki though. And that will deal with the catapult wave while Exorcism up top. Miracle is having to contend with a large cap and the ghost flying around him. Full spreads galore, kills off Y, but Miracle will in the end die.
Yeah, Exorcism still being full damage, not affected.
Nothing to say, can't swashbuckle away from Sumail. Charging towards GQ, keeping him away from the tower. This is the thing, right? The early he's going for more, he's going to get a kill! Sumail knew where his limits were, and he pushes them absolutely perfectly. Unlocking that mid-tier one with the arrival of mind control as well.
NIGMA having a really good read on the game where they need to bring an extra hero just to be able to secure the kills. Ame finally hits level 6, but look at the bottom tier 1 tower. It's down to 300 HP. First Exorcism was used, no real damage done to tier 1 towers. Yeah. So in terms of trading the towers, I feel like NIGMA, especially with the global presence, they're going to be able to kill the tier 1 tower and also defend their safe lane tower.
0 tower damage we just saw there. Beautiful stats going up. LGD struggling.
Oh, he's the creeps.
Like that.
Man, those creeps.
Just the creeps. But back to your point, right, about the trade kills and about the numbers matching. No real advantage for either team in these engagements. That's a good sign of well-matched teams understanding where each other needs to be and reading the opponents as well.
So far, they might have a really good read how PSG is going to react to what they're doing. Right now, they're going to go back to the top lane, and they need to be a little bit more careful. Kuroki, a little unleveled, because they were not getting kills in the bottom lane. He's going to be playing very defensive, so level 3, 9 minutes in, he's going to need to be the one getting home.
And NIGMA, the reads they're getting out of these 3 observables they've got planted in a triangle around that mid lane and bottom jungle area. They've seen the Enchantress, they know that GQ's around down here as well. So they've got the options, whether they want to TP and react bot and play into this chronosphere, which Arme does have, or just kind of casually farm away, Miracle dragging waves into camps and getting that efficiency going.
Very interesting build. It's all about the efficiency, like how much return you get for the gold invested.
LGD trying to force something and get the drag back with 2 spells. Hurricane and the Dispose, but GH from the high ground. Freezing Field comes. Wrath of Nature bounces across them as well. But it's just going to zone back LGD as they hold their aggression. And a kind of wasted roll there from the Pangal.
The bash here.
He does, but look at Sumail's arrival. Chrono comes onto the 2 of them, a defensive one as always.
It's the zoning one. They give him speed, so for 2.5 minutes, they're not going to be able to play Sumail. What a bro, helping out mind control, and this should also result in a tower, because this...
Look at him go! He's keeping it behind him! Arme, he doesn't have time walk anymore! Frost bits and blasted bolt above the field, Arme's going to jump across and he'll back up. Ever so close to finding the takedown on the board that's facing out. Arrives with Exorcism and nothing to say. In on top of Sumail. Ash and Q arriving to be able to find the kill on the Razor. A big one for LGD if they can finish it off. Sumail so speedy though, and with another link in the body blocks from the treants. Nothing to say for the shield crash. At long last gets the takedown. And NIGMA lose 3 heroes.
PSG brings everybody down. They understood we need to save Ame, and Ame needs to the top lane immediately without having no chronosphere, but his contribution was not there. Getting the time off and managing to survive the big W. PSG a bit greedy. They wanted to get more, getting behind enemy lines. They still took the tower. That's something that I mentioned. They will be able to defend their towers. Top lane, harassment, forcing him to do time walk.
NIGMA now with that wide open space, right? They're able to control the bottom jungle with the tier 1 mid and bottom gone. And Miracle's also farming Radiant Triangle. We've talked about this a lot recently. Thinking about the resources on the map of Dota 2. It's not about necessarily being fully efficient on your side, farming your jungle, but taking things away from your opponents to limit their potential.
He feels relatively unkillable on safe so maybe the mana burn, once you get to that play time on Pango and bringing like 3 heroes, they should be able to bring him down, but it's going to take a while. GH hiding in the trees.
Yeah,
yes.
This isn't coming time. What he does get it. So the God allows GH to survive. Nothing to say. Blown up with BKB and return to the fountain.
I'm looking at bottom. Literally need one creep, one dawnbreaker to be able to get LGD. Gets it immediately. These are they get the kill tough. This is also the big hour. This is something that we didn't mention because they were it's about the exorcisms, it's about the so I misuse their control. I feel like they must go misuse even if they get a kill or two. They're still not going to be able to test destruction. Things like Galaxy, they have all the tools. The key map a little bit. One big spot. Like one big loose dot. He has not moved so far. They keep it top lane for a little bit and then go to the bottom.
Miracle. Creating that barrier in front of his own jungle.
NIGMA has had big timings with this Aghanim Scepter about to be done in 1500 gold. I feel like if LGD, they want to fight for that, because Silky Blades is about to be finished in 1500 gold, Frontier and Exo's up.
Oh, it's huge, yeah, 7.6k net worth on Miracle. A massive performance coming out of him on the bristleback, 7,700 total.
I want to go back to the point that I was trying to make, but you stopped me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you need to hype it up. Let's see about this one.
Force the roll.
Big one. There's the rolling thunder.
You see that physical damage from Miracle?
In trouble.
Yeah, it's in the spell. Enchantress slows him down. The freezing field. He lets it go. Why? Chased down by the Dawnbreaker, slammed into the ground. The face of the opportunity to run back behind him. Look who's waiting for them. It's mind control with the Solar Guardian. They can't get the Marty though. She's out. They want the Faith Beyond DP instead. In comes the Swash. Faith Beyond nothing to say. Bursting through them in Miracle. He's nearly dead with the bristleback. Keeping him alive ever so barely. Slipping out of danger while mind control is left stranded.
This is the fight that I mentioned, like go in, they didn't even commit with the Chronos here, because they're gonna hit like a little earlier timing. That profit almost 4,000 damage in that fight, allowing him to survive with the heal set. Like he doesn't have a single like tank item on Faith Beyond. It's just the heal scepter, but he has the Spirit's Life charges in that fight, which didn't enable him to survive. So still pretty good. Faithful does have Maelstrom right now. Still Chronosphere ready. So even if the NIGMA Galaxy decides to go inside Roshan with the Aghanim Scepter on back about to be with 900 gold, LGD will still take that fight.
Yeah, it's absolutely disruptive as well, knowing that NIGMA wants to be using these timings and continuing the steamroller that they've built up to continue charging forward. Having a team fight win as LGD there and might bust NIGMA's morale a little bit, but you've got to realise they'll pick themselves up and understand they've got to keep this moving forward. Mind control sat up top currently, being only double Jin Q, but he doesn't have any teammates nearby currently. Killing off a Hellbear, slapping his tower.
Sumail died 3 times in this game. Like ideally you would want to have Bristleback Axe and Razor's BKB synced up, because that would be your big timing. They might still wait until Sumail has a BKB just so that he doesn't get burned. I think he was fading there on mid lane, but they maybe underestimated the positioning of Enchant to be able to dispel that haste.
It's why just sending creeps to every tower. He sends a Hellbear top, he's sending creeps down to bottom, he's like backdooring towers non-stop with this Enchantress.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Being a little bit naughty.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Dire Glyph comes out. He's thinking about a play into mid, stopping Faith Beyond from farming freely anyway. Now DP heading to a BKB of her own, but Sumail out in the open in the river, speedy enough to get up the staircase. And mind control. Currently just holding objectives. I think you're right, they are very stolidly just sitting in front of their objectives, making sure that LGD don't have any freebies while they're waiting for this Aghanim Scepter and BKB synchronized climbing.
Still PSG, they will be ready to strike back. Exorcism is level 2, so 2 times more damage. Thinking about going on
Good frostbitten. Chrono defensively once more, and the Dawnbreaker Soul Guardian lands. But he's got time walk again in a couple of seconds. Mind control spots him, sprouts him. In the fog to go with Army now. Celestial Hound look gap, and the body blocks in the tree and allows another frostbite. The Basil's Blade destroyed by NIGMA.
not only they managed to get a kill, they also managed to bait the Chronosphere. So, so far, in terms of Chronosphere usage, I believe this is the second one. We still haven't seen the full potential of it, with Exorcism running and then going in and dealing damage. I think it's time for NIGMA to go inside the Roche pit and fight.
And we were talking at the start of this about how LGD reacts, responds to this aggression from NIGMA, and so far it's been to run away and defensively use your spells. Why? Chased down by the bristleback Junkyu PSG. I don't know if you can fight into this. He goes to turn here, Unleash, sure, there'll be a little bit of damage here and there, but with Kuroki's arrival and Sumail and GH closing the gap in towards them, the NIGMA guys decide how to defend it. Great roll in, but they struggle to get a kill. Finally Miracle falls, but look at Sumail go. Clears through PSG, Jinkyu follow him into the grave, and nothing to say, has to TP home.
Miracle took one for the team. He decided to go in just as the rest of the PSG LGD chases him, and still a pretty good trade. So Exorcism down for 2 minutes. It's all about paying attention on these big ultis for PSG LGD. There's someone needs to time it because they will have every single time like a minute, even more than a minute, to be able to react, to get some stuff going on the map or force Roshan.
You see there the big difference between those cooldowns. And we saw that bottom tier 2 getting destroyed by the little treants, right? Locking the outpost in that bottom jungle for them. Man, we nearly have a BKB on the Maiden as well. She's going to be able to just stand there.
Crystal Maiden rushing the BKB. She's going to have it after this wave.
That's incredible. Pre-20 minutes. Shard and Blink, of course, going to be coming up quickly afterwards. We've already seen GH's freezing field and how much damage, but it's not just the damage, but DB wants to chase, Tango wants to chase. Boy, they've got these heroes that want to keep chasing heroes. Freezing field just don't allow you to do that.
15 seconds until 60 until Exorcism in the back line. I don't think PSG can contest this one.
And they see Arme.
Arme might try to go for a steal play.
But they see him, they know that Arme's nowhere nearby.
They don't have a clear down tower there. They don't have a clear down in the lane. Like look support from Galaxy, covering every entrance where they could possibly get from. Get inside and try to do something about it.
Wow, one of those clever things where it's like, hey Miracle, you've been farming enemy agents for a while. Do you think Arme's going to try it? Let's walk there and see what he's up to. And knew exactly where the Faceless Void was. And nothing to say. Running it back as Miracle, Sumail and the gang invading bottom jungle. Nothing really objective-wise to claim here, so yeah, they change tack and move in towards mid. Big old Treants. Great to Treant. Such a beautiful red face.
I like what Kuro's doing. He's playing this Dawnbreaker 5, and he understands where like the real threat is going to come from. Disarm potentially on Razor, silence, and also time dilation on Bristleback. So he wants to be able to enable his team with all this stuff.
It's not the Gluttony. So he's going straight in your mirror there. Oh, look at him! Oh, I just want to squeeze his cheeks! Beautiful little fellas.
This time around, because the ghost, so it's gonna proc a lot more. Like even time dilation on top of that, the Pango, he does tend to get a lot of instances of damage in the team fight.
Is this where, I don't know, you consider like a blade mail on a DP? Because there's so much spill damage from Razor, Bristle, the Mjolnir. Is that something you think about?
Viable right now.
Okay.
This is a good one. He's also going to float a sword.
Hello! Who have we got here? Mind Control, healed up by the Solar Guardian, and GH, he's just going straight up BKB freezing field. Why says goodbye to the Lord of the Living, Jinkyu dead to Sumail as well.
It's very difficult for PSG to commit even to one of the supports. They try to go on Crystal Maiden, he pops the BKB, you know there's going to be big ground nature coming in, potentially TP, and also ulti. Ooh, and that's big damage. Still does not want to commit. Dispatch goes faster than dispatch faster this time. This is GH we're talking about. He's given involved 14 out of 18 kills.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Very active Crystal Maiden.
Incredible. What does LGD to do to try and come back from this? Is it like they're just trying to wait out ages? Do they want to go for a team fight with Exo and Chronos ready?
Like we need to talk about them getting a perfect rolling thunder, because there's still nothing that can stop the rolling thunder. In the fight, you still need to respect damage from the first back. It's pretty similar to like Medusa, where the damage becomes overwhelming at one point, because if you're in a fight for that long with both sprays, they're gonna stack up. Problem is, there's gonna be so much chaos in the front line, Razor with the BKB using the static link, forcing you to drop and potentially like forcing them to use this Chronosphere in a way that they don't want to, and then NIGMA Galaxy has like pretty free opening into the fight.
What's wrong, JJ? What have you seen?
Actually showing the shard, maybe has queued up. So you can move, cast spells during the freezing field. Crystal doesn't need to be afraid of anything once you picks up the shard, other than Chrono. So you have BKB, and you also have 20 extra armor against that problem. So you should feel almost invulnerable if you're not caught inside Chrono.
Miracle. Gonna come and clear out this top wave, helped out by the Treants. Y getting TP'd on. No stuns, I don't believe.
That was not familiar.
Yeah. A little bit slower on the DP's BKB, not by much compared to average.
16 seconds on average. And we see 50 seconds faster on Bristleback. You was thinking about going for different build SMI on Bristle. I see like BKB being able to dispel things on his own, not just relying on Dawnbreaker to be able to get it.
In his backpack for now, but can switch that into the Aegis when it expires in about 45 seconds. LGD just trying to find pockets of farm where they're reasonably safe. Mind control, undilated, double flashes, but a Solar Guardian not going to help him. Still dead. Arme has the BKB to TP home, and nothing to say rolling out there as well.
Getting a ton of farm on this Razor, about to finish Refresher, so double BKB, double static link, getting tons of levels as well. We're talking about getting level 20, potentially getting level 25 as well. 30 seconds left on Bristleback's Aegis, and that is next item. Pretty natural progression, I would say, for full Abyssal Blade and the Bastard to be able to deal with these split pushes. BKB TPs out, double damage here. Getting scouted.
Oh, the Pango wanted it. He's going to roll up and try to TP. The Starbreak, not quite landing. Gets home. And Jinkyu came in to save his body, not needed. Pays the ultimate price while his courier dying to Quill Sprays and hits from Miracle. Flies over the treetops. But LGD is getting pushed further and further back. You can feel this map shrinking for them. The net is closing in around them. And NIGMA continue to fish for any targets they can find in the open. It's been a superb showing here. And there's that refresher all for Razor that you've talked about. They should be ready to just continue this tempo.
This is big. If NIGMA can bait one of the base spells, either Exorcism or Faceless Void ulti, also having buyback under like Nature's Prophet or Dawnbreaker if ulti is could be pretty big. Lotus Sword finish on Kuroki, so that's going to be a good way to deal with the silences, Spirit Sight, the disarms, the time dilation, whatever you want to call it.
That was close, wasn't it? 3 minutes and 23.
1 second.
1 second away. Hey, can you punch the numbers, please? Just remove a second off the back of that. Fly down in his own jungle. Okay, my observer says no. Statistical integrity more important than memes, apparently.
We just wanted you to contribute to meme society.
Yeah. Meme culture, incredibly. He's actually just fucking watching bottom lane. He's face palming right now, you can tell. Shut up, you idiots. Jinkyu.
Radiant are scanning.
Scanning top. They know someone's here, it's still red. And mind control, jump straight up the bottom. Arme with a perfect read of where he is. I don't know if that Solar Guardian can do anything apart from give away another kill. Kuroki's launched himself into death. Pretty decent for LGD to get a double kill on Jinkyu. But the fact that now NIGMA are down 2 heroes for 40 seconds means that tempo slowed.
I want to see NIGMA play a bit more aggressive once they picked up this refresher. Maybe they don't need a basher on Bristleback. Not sure if that was a thing there, but yeah, they are losing a little bit in terms of the net worth. So Basher's coming on Bristol. They did give them a couple of extra kills. Maybe they want to track this game for another minute until Roshan respawns and then take a fight, prioritizing potentially ages, but they will be ready to fight this last round.
Yeah, I guess one of the ideas there is if you bring a couple of heroes, LGD might expect more, and maybe if you force a BKB, force a Chrono, or Exorcism, as we have seen, that's going to delay.
Arm is pretty big in terms of levels. Level 21, higher level than Bristleback, and now he has the level 20 OP down to 120 attack speed during Chronos here, so there's always going to be damage. And also, I see King 3 items on for Mjolnir, so that's going to be a lot of procs as well when we talk about the Bristleback. Some other talents that are getting close that could potentially change things around. Still, might throw a little bit under level, but Sprout is gonna be the big one. Still needs 4 levels. Has BKB coming to him, so that's also a big item. On the other side, that Prophet's still far away from Loisor. Banglier did finish off Lincoln's here, so that's gonna be way of protecting himself with potential like frostbite and also throwing that onto Ame. Just because if you take away his damage, the good thing about this damage build from Ame is Mjolnir, a lot of procs, a lot of attack speed, so even if your like physical damage gets stolen, you still deal magical damage.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's other ways to like try to counter. I remember one specific game where Troll Warlord playing against Razor did build MVP.
We were casting it.
We were casting it.
And we rushed it straight up. I think it was Skinter. I can't quite remember. It was incredible. Oh, LGD smoked up, knowing that it's around Roshan respawn time. They want to try and force something here.
Good positioning from NIGMA. They put the high ground forward, and GH also in a position to be able to break the smoke potentially.
Oh, he's in a great spot. A Miracle kind of face tank.
They faded out. Like you could see who's orange. It's Fly. So yeah, he knows exactly. Glyph forced out. Some machines on a little bit of execution in the lane.
It goes on with it. Control the BKB gets it up in time. Let's see if Smell can survive. So the Guardian giving him a bit more life. In comes Kuros. Smell at the drop though. Arme picking out. Focus him down. Dispose of the Breaker 2. In comes Miracle though. Chase them back. Big physical damage from him on the GQ and mind control. Sprouting picking out. The buyback out of Kuro and Sumail. Forcing the fight near this Roshan pit's going to get them the takedown on the DP. Oh, not nothing anymore though. A stun. The frostbite comes. 3 down on LGD side of Roshan. Still 40 seconds away.
And this is a freebie for them. This is what we talk about, just to be able to have buybacks on their side. This is how you counter big e-fight all these new heroes. Yeah. 30 seconds. They still have time to potentially take the fight, take it through power, shoot with the buyback, and then easy in and out with the shard.
Forcing it here with another buyback over the DP. This foe is Miracle. He's still tanky, and GH will zone them away with the freezing field. He's BKB and the kill on GQ is coming. So Mail, he'll find it. A dieback from Marcy. Arme back in, but he's stunned up. He's disabled. Arme's down. Nothing to say. He's trying to roll up and chase them back. NIGMA wants to retreat. Reset time for them. Give away the life of Kuroki. No big deal, but he used the Prophet. Takes the Arme, will clear through with a triple kill on Wise Enchantress.
LGD killing out Roshan immediately. So no buyback on Kuro. Because the previous game, they have 2 buybacks on their side.
Someone called the hand with a DD rune. Sporting here, Roshan.
Let's see how NIGMA approaches this one. Do they just let it go, or they want to contest it?
It looks like they're just going to allow LGD to take it.
They are a bit greedy. Maybe if they left 1 treant inside the pit, pull back in Baroche. Miracle's going in.
But it's being rolled on by the Pango. He's in a 1v4. He's BKB'd up, chasing live. Even with the backup of Sumail here, LGD are going to cruise towards them. Walk up the ramp, look towards Sumail. The rest BKB comes out of the Razor net. Miracle, hey, chasing back in the Faith Beyond, aiming the DP as Arme wants Sumail real back. Pops his one, but there's no way he can survive. He's got 100 seconds. And a Chrono onto Miracle allows the boy to get in front of him. NIGMA falling apart at teamfight ultis.
And also down damage here on bottom lane. Amin did pick up the Aegis in that fight, but I feel like NIGMA needs to approach it a bit differently. Trying to secure Roche instead of going for the tier 3 tower. They almost killed it, but this Roche on and it won't change the game completely. Where's the shard at? Because Facebook did have it, they gave it to Net Profit. So another Spirit Titan charge. They want to go in and potentially end it. Let's see if they decide to go. Oh yeah, it's being pinged out.
Yeah, they want to do it. They know there are limited buybacks on this entire team. I mean, Miracle doesn't have the money for it, but they also know there's going to be no Razor, no Dawnbreaker as they go for tier 4. LGD, they want to finish this one off. MCGH, they can move forward with Kuroki, do a bit of chip damage here and there. Exorcism still going for a good 5-6 seconds, and the tier 4s are crumbling. Dispose on MC, they found their profit. He's got buyback available, but his shield stopped in its tracks by Almay and his faceless boy. GH, yeah, BKB's not going to save you here. Nothing to say, we'll find a takedown on him.
They're ready to close out. Respect is out in 10 seconds. About to have KB available once he comes out. But those bashes, both faces Void and bashes from Pango.
He's trapped in the throne. Ow, mind control.
Getting the flashback alliance against NIGMA.
Try every trick in the book.
When they defended the throne was at like 20 HP. It seems like PSG LGD did know the need to back off a little bit. There are no creeps in the base.
Spam pinging it.
But not available for NIGMA.
And a 5v3 for another 20-30 seconds. Mid lane Baron's going to be cracked wide open. Throne is out in the open, cold and exposed. Jinju, he's forced the BKB out of Miracle. Armay will try and walk away, and knowing that they can continue this fight. Now the BKBs are being expended so frivolously, and Marcy's got one being delivered soon as well.
Now they're buying time.
I've got the damage, but they don't have the vision of the throne to actually kill it off. This game being delayed out. This was the damage in from Jinju. The Unleashed Army is right click. The Chrono on the two. Mind control and Kuroki stuck here. And LGD surely now have this victory in the bag. One more takedown. GH spawns, but a lonely maiden can't do this.
In base, Crystal Maiden, the sole survivor, needs to be able to defend the throne.
Final backtrack, clear out the way, stop the trees for any more of this nonsense. Upwave cutting.
The Vambrace, the Vam Null, to be able to get some extra damage going with the ulti. Let's see how that one goes.
The smoke breaks. Go on, get in there, my son.
He's dragging the creep wave back, trying to buy some extra time.
And GG cool, and PSG coming back into this game. It looks so good for the NIGMA up until that Roche hit, where LGD defended their high ground, had the buyback advantage, and took that second.